So now let's talk about pitching. A lot of founders, a lot of businesses, would always come with requests. Teach me, I need to learn how to pitch. I need to, what are the things I need to say, to do the right pitch. Now let's talk about pitching. I meet a lot of entrepreneurs who want to become professionals, who want to pitch well, who wants to, be able to speak to investors and, collect money from investors and raise money for their business and all that. And they always ask, how do I pitch? How do I do a winning pitch? All of those energy and all. I tell them that pitching is simply selling yourself. You have to master it. You have to be comfortable with it. Pitching is selling yourself, it's selling your idea, it's selling your product, it's selling your business. So you have to master it. And you don't have to be in a room filled with investors to pitch. You pitch every day. If you run a business, you pitch every day. You pitch to suppliers, you pitch to team members, you pitch to people you want to even work with you as co-founders. You pitch to them, you pitch to customers. You have to sell this idea. You have to sell those products. You have to sell those service. So pitching is selling. And one other thing I tell entrepreneurs is do not memorize your slide. I don't know why, you don't need it. Like, you spend so much time designing the perfect pitch deck, and you spend little time mastering your story. Do not memorize your slide. Master your story. It's the story that will get you funding. I don't know if you've heard of things like elevator pitches that ask you questions like, if you're trapped in an elevator with Bill Gates, what will you tell him? Shoot. If you've mastered your slides, you want to start from slide 1 as it is in your head. So I tell entrepreneurs, you need to learn how to tell your story. You need to master how to tell your story. Now, I'll mention a few things that makes you stand out when pitching. Just a few things. Now, you have this perfect pitch deck. You have this perfect, slides that you've prepared. But the aesthetics, the font, the color combo and everything is not what investors are interested in. Of course, if you have a beautiful slides, an added advantage, but that's not what they're interested in. They want to understand. They want to know that you understand the problem you're trying to solve. Not just generic problem. I've said this over and over again. We don't stand and tell them Nigeria has hunger problem or Nigeria has unemployment. They know. They don't just want to hear this. They want to hear specifically the problem you're trying to solve. So I will always say research, data, facts, figures. So when you're speaking to them, you're quoting data. You're telling them, according to USADF report of 2019, over 50% of Nigerians do not have access to electricity. These are instances. You're telling them, according to UNICEF report of 2025, over 50 children do not have access to healthy meal, do not have access to 3 meals a day. You're quoting data. You have sources. So you don't just call and tell them, So your problem, they want to understand that you deeply understand that problem. They want to see your solution, how unique it is. What have you created? How do you intend to solve this problem? So if you want to deliver an excellent pitch, you need to understand this. They want to see your financial. They want to understand that you know your numbers so well. Now, they want to see that you understand this numbers, your financial projections. What is your ask? How much are you asking them? If you're asking for 500,000 USD, what do you intend to use it for? At what point will you break even? If you put in, say 50% or 100% or 70% inside production, by year 1, what do you intend to make? By year 2, what do you intend to make? They need to understand that you know these things, and whatever you do not read from the slides. That's why I say you need to master your story. So these are just a few things. Pitching is a whole lot. And of course, when I find the time, I will dive deep into it, step by step. Things you need to do, things you need to say, how to react to questions from investors, from panel, from investment committee, and, every other thing you need to know. So, of course, follow me for more. Thank you.